Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker. This is WP Watercooler, episode number 95. Man, 5 more to 100, huh? Today's topic, we're going to be discussing WordPress 4.0 and all the cool things that are going to be in it. Let's go around the room real quick here and get everyone introduced. We're going to start with Mr. Chris Lema.
Hi there, I'm Chris, and I blog over at chrislema.com, and I also run the North County San Diego WordPress meetup.
Very cool. How about you, George?
Hi, I'm George Stefanis. I run Jetpack for Automattic. I'm a community organizer, and I have way too much free time on my hands.
I don't think you're supposed to tell people that.
How about you, James?
My name is James Laws. I'm the co-founder of WP Ninjas, the creators of Ninja Forums.
Very cool. Ryan, how about you, sir?
I am Ryan Sullivan, founded WP Site Care, and getting ready to, in the next couple months, launch a new brand, Flagship.
Very cool.
A new flagship brand or a new brand, comma, flagship?
Comma Flagship.
That's heavy.
Comma, flagship. I think that's what you should call it.
You can actually say your flagship product
Comma,
is
flagship.
Flagship.
So you're up. Tell us
Me?
some stuff. Yes, please.
Me, Say? Me? That's my name, right? Oh, hi. I'm Say Reed. And I'm so happy to be back after my musical hiatus. I do stuff with WordPress, teach people about WordPress, love the WordPress, Say Reed Media on all the things.
Sweet. What about you, Steve?
I am Steve Zehngut. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup. And tonight, out of our office, we're having developer night with Brandon and Jeff.
Nice.
He wrote his second blog post this month.
Hey.
No pressure. Ghostwriter.
How about you, Suzette?
Hello, everybody. I'm Suzette Franck. I'm the WordPress evangelist here at Media Temple, and I'm going to be speaking at Milwaukee WordCamp and also New York WordCamp. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very cool. Syed, tell us about yourself, sir.
Hey, I'm Syed Balkhi. I'm the founder of WPBeginner. I also have several plugins like OptinMonster, Soliloquy, Envira, Gallery, and a theme shop called ThemeLab. And I will be speaking at WordCamp Milwaukee and New York as well.
Nice. I'll see you there.
Cool.
Hey.
I just want to point out for the record that I didn't hear any of those plugins. It was like, rah, 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 rah. But I'm sure we can find them out
We'll
somewhere.
have links. I'm Jason
Links.
Tucker. You can find me on Twitter, Jason Tucker, and I blog over at WPmedia.pro. So, WordPress 4.0. We do have one audience in the house here, right?
We're getting old, guys. We're 40.
We're 40.
That's what I was reading about, because everyone's like, hey, cat. Everyone's like, it's not a big deal. It's not as big of a deal. It's just a major release. It's not like 4.0 was more significant or crazy than 3.9. And I saw a comment somewhere that someone said, just pretend the dot's not there. So it's like last episode was 39, and this one, last issue was 39.
Welcome
and this
back,
one's
Say.
40.
Welcome
Yeah, I know,
back.
right? Stay on. Hello.
Oh, how we've missed
Hello.
you.
Anyway, so it's like WordPress 40. Yay.
If you move the decimal place 2 more places to the right, it could be WordPress 4000.
Oh,
Yes, that makes total sense.
Hey, Syed, you saved a whole bunch of energy for the actual show. Could you step in here and tell us a little about what you're excited in terms of 4.0?
Syed already did a whole article on it.
Yeah, I have a whole article on it, so I'm just going to read from the article word for word. So the first thing you need to do is...
Do not do that. I will interrupt you on your
Actually, what I'm most excited about is the ability to select your language when you're installing WordPress, because that was a big challenge for WordPress beginners who wanted to have everything in their language, and they were like, I read that I can install WordPress in French, and how do I do that? I don't see it by default, and I installed it using my host's one-click installed in English. So that would save us a lot of questions that we answer.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that I'm excited about is the improvement to the post editor. Something as simple as when you scroll down, the little widget scrolls down with you, the toolbar. And
Isn't that awesome?
that's gonna be awesome.
That's the thing that I'm so excited about this release, because the lead on this release is Helen Husandi, and I saw her. She was my very first WordCamp talk ever. That was
San Francisco?
No, in WordCamp Phoenix in 2012. She on the Friday session was talking at the developer track, and she was talking about the UI of the admin, and she's basically talking about how various plugins should behave, and they should use icons that fit in with the overall look and that type of thing. So I'm really excited about what she's doing, her take on this, because it's very UI based. So simple, tiny little things like the text editor sticking at the top, which is really minor in theory, but makes such a big impact as far as workflow goes. So it's all those kind of little tweaks that are just going to just take it to another level.
It normally takes me about 20-25 minutes to write a blog post, and I would imagine that about 19 of those minutes are spent scrolling up to click the formatting and scrolling back down to find my place in the post. It's insane. Like, I spend a majority of my time scrolling up, and then if you're on a laptop where you're scrolling and all of a sudden it turns out you're only scrolling in the text but not scrolling the page, and so I'm a huge fan of 4.0. And by the way, that was not bragging, Steve. I just read your most recent blog post. I know it takes about 9 months.
I think he was saying that 19 minutes of your blog post time was bragging.
In fairness, 8.5 of those months are spent scrolling.
Right? That's all I'm saying.
8 months, and all I'm saying, Steve, was that was a really awesome post. I'm not sure that's the topic I would have picked after 8 months, but still.
He's got to go easy, you can't just come in.
One of the plugins I love using is called Preserve Scroll Position. So when you save the post, it
scroll position
brings you back to where you stopped.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really useful if you guys want to try it.
Yeah.
Is that?
I was going to say, is that going to be built? Is that a plugin, or is that coming in core? Or is that just?
No, it's not in the core. It's a separate plugin. Yeah.
Well, then who cares, man? Come on.
So, what about the new grid view?
That's awesome. That's my favorite thing. I think the whole thing, the enhancements to the grid view.
It's a step.
In the media, it's a step.
It's a step.
Well, awesome.
It's not categories in the media library yet, or any sort of organizing system, but it's a step.
The way the admin UI has been changing lately is everything's been moving to grid views. I mean, we've got themes installing with the new THX that came in 3.8 is now in a grid view. We've got plugins now being in a grid view when you're searching for those to install. Media's going to a grid view. And what have I had to deal with for the last year? But everyone getting on me for Jetpack displaying these modules in a cards layout. I finally do a list table, and now everyone's going to grid view.
So when do posts start coming in a grid view? When do we move posts and pages into grid view?
Oh, God.
Oh, please don't.
Please don't do that.
Let me just say, George, all your work in Jetpack is extremely valuable, and we appreciate it.
And cutting edge.
And you're a good guy, and the fact that you're always a leading indicator of where everything else is going is something that I trust. So I expect at some point, I know I've said this over and over again, I expect that soon we will just install Jetpack and then let you take care of installing WordPress for us.
Oh, I can.
Your face is a Jetpack.
File it'll install both for you if you want.
Will it be running on Node? That's what I want to know.
Sure.
All right,
so it still doesn't have
4.0
categories.
I was going to say the same thing.
That's going to happen. I live for that day. I do. And then you guys can stop giving me all that hassle about the media uploader and.
No, you're right. That to me, that's the missing feature in the media library. Some sort of categories or albums or something.
Why is there no taxonomy?
Folders, something.
Taxonomy.
There's actually Food Gallery is really nice. That just came out recently too.
Yes, but it's a plugin.
It is a plugin.
Say, are you saying that if they go to adding a taxonomy to the image gallery, that you will start telling people to use the media library?
Yeah.
Wow, that's big. We should let people know about that.
I know. Everybody tweet it. #media library.
I don't know. Maybe
let's start a campaign.
By here's the post that each thing is attached to, and then other ones that are not attached to anything, so you can cluster them by that.
Oh, or all of those things. Hey, that would be really cool.
What was the plugin you just mentioned?
Or you can use
Food Gallery.
WP.
What is it?
Food Gallery.
Isn't that Matt Cromwell's thing?
Food Gallery.
Yeah, that's the one I mentioned.
All right. Thank you.
If we're talking galleries, I'm sure Syed, you have a favorite, right?
Yeah, it's Enviro Gallery.
Again,
Enviro Gallery.
so
I don't know if you caught the news this last week, but Griffin Media, that was the guys who were behind, or Thomas, who's behind Soliloquy and Envira, and part owner and builder of OptinMonster, has merged
the guys
with.
that did TGM plugin activation, managing dependencies in everyone's themes.
merged with who?
Merged with Syed's company, Automotive.
Automotive?
Awesome motive.
Awesome Motive.
Awesome motive.
And so now Thomas is the CTO of that company, and Syed and him are running several of those plugins. So Soliloquy, Envira, OptinMonster, basically everything you need to drop into a site to run it.
So
other than Jetpack.
you just notched up or whatever, leveled up, I guess, is what we'll call that.
I like notched up.
Notched up. It's kind of, yeah, I like it too.
The thing I'm excited about for this next version is playlists for audio and video.
Yes.
But they have
Very
that
cool.
already. It's always a different. I haven't
It's in
seen
3.9.
it. Yeah, 3.9.
No,
But it
not playlists,
displays
not
it.
YouTube playlists.
But
Yeah,
Oh.
the YouTube playlist is going to be a big addition. Oh my God, yeah.
That's a big deal. I literally last month coded, like, you just had to put in, it doesn't embed automatically. I
But
just
you
had
guys
to do
cut me
that for
off,
a
though.
client last month.
Here's
Go ahead.
the thing about it. Here's the thing about it, though, is that you can now see it in the embed can actually be displayed in the visual editor, which is just the coolest part of it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
It's
Very nice.
really important for users to be able to see what they're doing. Otherwise,
Definitely.
the disconnect between what they're creating and seeing the box with a little logo in it just confuse the heck out of everybody. They're like, where is it? And then I'm like, well, look at the preview. And they're like, that's lame.
That's just a box.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, well, it's not perfect.
Did you then say your face is lame?
I try not to say that to clients, only to,
Oh yeah, that's probably smart.
Steve does that, though.
I get it all out here.
I don't have clients. I have friends.
My other favorite embed thing is Issue. I don't know if any of you use Issue. I have clients that do magazines, a lot of media
It's
stuff.
okay, say we know you have lots of issues.
I do. I also have those. Now you can automatically embed your issue into your WordPress post.
This water cooler.
You will never really have to blog.
Go and say you've been embedding your issues into everything for years.
I know. I usually embed my issues into Watercooler.
All right. I want to know from James and then from Ryan what you're most looking forward to in 4.0.
My most wanted thing is the customizer, the changes that they're making to the customizer, because they're getting it away from just being a theme customizer and just being a WordPress customizer. So plugins are going to be able to hook into that and do a lot of awesome things. We're looking at it for some of our products. And I would say I really agree with Syed. I think the language thing is huge, but it's also a big deal for plugins in the repository, because part of the new plugin refresh is you can search and see what plugins already have languages available for your plugin. So if you do not have those languages, you don't show up, and that's a big deal. So I think you're going to see a lot of plugins start like pushing for translators and trying to build a rapport with some translators.
That's awesome.
It's really
I'm
cool.
looking at
The
I'm looking at-
universalization of what we're doing here.
I'm looking at some of the customizer improvements right now. I've got the beta running on my other screen. That's pretty slick.
Oh yeah. To be able to do
I just
panels
wanna
and
point out-
sections is pretty cool.
Just the whole UI improvement is really, really nice.
If you recall earlier in the broadcast, I mentioned hashtag media library. Well, we got a response from Nathan, which, just a guy in WordPress. And he says that media and taxonomies is only one line of code, but as far as core goes, they're more interested in intelligent groups and filtering and sorting and searching. So I don't know that I don't know if it's one line of code. Why can't I have what I want, damn it? Like, come on, just put it in.
Meaning it can be turned on.
I think he's actually teasing you. I think he's saying, go write the one line of code, and then we can talk about it, which is a legitimate call. Right?
And make it a plugin.
Yeah,
Just
I
make
can
it
do
a plugin.
that, sorry.
All right, hey, Ryan, what
if I could?
What are you looking forward to?
Well, yeah,
Hashtag,
so
not that good.
Customizer 2, when I was looking, through all the 4.0 changes in the latest beta, I thought it was kind of cool how they broke out different sections of the admin within the customizer. So like widgets were grouped differently than a lot of the theme stuff, and I think we'll kind of see that continue to build as more plugin customization type stuff is introduced. We'll be able to kind of separate that out, and for users, it should be a better, a more separate. Each section of the site's going to be separated a little bit more. And then again, even within the media gallery, something that wasn't brought up is when you actually look at the modal view of an image now, you can tab, you can go to previous and next images quickly, update data, and then you can basically go through your whole media gallery super quick.
That is an awesome feature.
Add titles, all sorts of stuff. Really nice feature.
Very nice.
This is heavy. This is heavy.
It's
I know.
Yeah.
I know it's already going to be there, so it's not part of 4.0, but I must say I got to give massive props to the folks that worked on any of the image reworking, because just last night, for the first time in I don't know how long, I tried to actually crop an image inside of WordPress rather than when I normally do it outside of WordPress. and normally when you try and do it inside of WordPress, or at least in previous versions, you get caught in this loop of, did you really save the file? Did it change? What changed?
Did you click that button? Was the button clicked?
How many different open windows pop up? I mean, the whole thing was kind of a pain in the butt. And I did it last night just to test it out, and it was so smooth. It was it was perfect. Everything worked out right. So I'm positive that if people have kind of strayed away from that stuff when they come into 4.0, they're going to also experience some of the 3.9 and some of the other updates that they hadn't really caught. And I'm a huge fan now of cropping the images directly inside of WordPress.
See, now the new people, they won't even know what they are getting, because it's like, oh, this is awesome. You just edit in here, and we're like, I remember back in the day when you had to open other applications to do that.
That's how it's always going to be, though. That's how it's always going to be.
Yes, we're always going to keep getting older. That's great. I'm super excited about that.
So what I want to know is how does like all of these TinyMCE changes affect say like these alternate text, the alternate editors that people are installing? Are they going to be able to get some of that functionality still? How does that all work? Are you guys familiar enough with using, I think there's one called like AutomatMCE or some other, alternative one.
Wasn't there one that does CK editor?
Yeah, if I remember right. But I'm just curious, like, you have like stuff that's kind of
advanced.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's gonna break.
I'm just curious what that's going to do for those types of things, because if the MCE editor is being so kind of tightly integrated in it, what happens when you start using an alternate one?
Yeah. Then you miss out.
That will cause a rift in the space-time continuum?
I think so.
Honestly, one of the things that has really lent a lot of gain to WordPress over the last couple of years is we have Andrew Oz, who is brilliant with TinyMCE. We work with library vendors upstream, and as tightly integrated as things have been getting with Core, it's been getting much harder to just drop something else in place of them. Like, you could go drop in Zepto instead of jQuery, but why would you want to when something's probably going to break?
Right.
So, yes, you could drop in Zeek Editor instead of TinyMCE. I've not looked at it explicitly. Some things may work, but as tightly integrated as things have been, more things are probably going to be moving towards not. And I don't know if there really is a good solution to that, apart from like building interface layer that lets CK Editor have full compatibility with MCE, which at that point, why?
Right. Yeah, that's true. It's just funny that people are making those changes and then they go and put it on one of their customer sites, and now the customer can't benefit from being able to see an embed that's laying in the middle of the post or something.
I thought there was a rumor a while ago that WordPress might even move away from TinyMCE for something a little more homegrown or stripped down.
Microsoft Word.
Yeah, Microsoft Word.
Oh no, please!
let's just take a minute to point out that the Microsoft blogs are now running on WordPress, courtesy Web Dev Studios.
And they're using the new WordPress.
And the logos
What
are
is
not
that?
retina.
So maybe
That is
they will start
hilarious
using-
on so many levels. I just want us all to take a moment to appreciate that, okay?
So maybe
I just want us to imagine the iframed Microsoft Word right in the middle of your WordPress blog.
The install download is 800 meg.
No, you can use Office's web interface and just iframe it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Microsoft is always funny.
Yeah. When you do the look at the list of all your posts, it's actually SharePoint. It's all coming, people. 4.1.
Oh, please don't say that.
Use the S
that every
word,
day.
Chris, don't do that.
So there's also, and they haven't put out as much info about this, and I haven't played with the beta yet, but the customizer has been getting some love as well, which I'm excited about because the more standardization, the more theme options and things like that go in the customizer, the more kind of standard the configuration experience will be for the users when they're using the themes. Because even though the customizer developments are for developers, they impact users and they impact them significantly. So
that's a great point. I don't know why somebody hasn't brought that up sooner.
Yeah,
because that should be something.
I just did it,
like what
man.
James said.
I just did the brought it up.
I actually saw something pretty interesting about that. I read something. I wish I could remember where I can find it, but basically saying don't try and solve the same problem with Customizer that has been being solved with terrible theme options panels for a long time. So
the post that Matt Weeb did.
That sounds right. And so the idea being, we don't, the Customizer isn't there to, move 600 options from themes.
Yep.
It's there. We're trying to make decisions for users, but facilitating that in an easy way, and that's kind of what the customizer is, there for.
Apparently, I missed it earlier when Steve was talking about it. Not that I tuned him out or anything.
How do you guys feel about the grid view?
I think the grid view is a really cool option.
I heard they use different languages now.
I don't hear you. You don't understand. Like your voice is like on like a frequency that just doesn't resonate in my ears.
It's all right. Twitter.
I've been trained.
Twitter today has called us many, many things, and
I know. I was really excited about customer free. I got really distracted.
Most of it has been called things that I can't say on the air.
Cluster something.
I already said it, Steve. Like, come on.
Oh, did I miss that part?
Have any of you guys seen where like a customizer has just gone wrong and there's just like 5,000 different things that are in customizer now? I mean, I've seen that.
That is the fear, right? That at some point someone's going to put the 472 options that they're sticking in their custom option panel into the customizer, and it's.
I know we are.
It's gonna be insane.
Stick it in the customizer. I do that all the time.
So are we thinking that plugins will start using it?
I think people have to. I think it's the same as when you give someone a tool like PowerPoint, and they type in 10-point font, right? Because they shove tons of stuff in it, and you're like, that's horrible.
Right.
So I think in general we're still going to have the need to articulate guidelines in terms of how many things to put there or how to structure it, and as James was mentioning, there are ways to categorize and structure that side. So I think that's looking really positive. I think plugins and themes both there will be positive, but we're going to have to wait and see exactly how far it goes astray before we try and rein that in. But initially,
and as a plugin developer, we're going to make some mistakes. I'm just being honest. Like we're gonna try to extend it, and we're going to do it wrong, and we're going to have to back up a little bit and say, okay, we thought this could work, but it's not going to.
But do you think it would be better if they were to just take I guess have each plugin have its own customizer that would be just for that particular, say, template part or something that it's modifying?
It's funny you should say that. Because it actually does have callback so that you can put conditionals in that, and it'll only show your panels if that condition is met. So you can have just is front page or is a primary sidebar available.
Guys, did you guys catch that Syed just started laughing just now?
Yes. Why?
Right. So
please share, my friend.
I don't want to call him out or anything like I'm doing right now.
do.
But
Except you're totally.
Except you are, yeah.
No,
Let me
it's
just
okay.
say
He's got
that-
some lolcats up in another tab.
yeah, but anytime you see Syed laugh with that evil "I'm about to take over the world" laugh,
Because he's putting in a plugin that does that. Blah blah.
Well, so we already started doing that with OptinMonster in version 1.0. When you want to customize the skin, it opens a customizer that looks exactly like WordPress. And that's because unfortunately there wasn't an easy way for us to keep using the WordPress customizer, so we just made ours look like the WordPress customizer until the WordPress customizer is better, so that we can integrate. And now you're just seeing that happening over time. So and I hope that what we're doing, our users love it because it looks exactly what WordPress customizer looks like. And in version 2.0 for OptinMonster, you will see us heavily using that customizer style, and eventually my hope is that this will open up so anybody can use it.
I'm excited about the customizer. I had mentioned, I think it was last year at WordCamp San Francisco, like the theme options panels are out of control, and that whole world is just, there's no standardization. It varies like whole other applications from theme to theme. And even if there are 472 things in the customizer, if at least they're in one spot and they follow the general style of the customizer, it will be better. Like, that's better even if everyone hasn't pared down all their stuff or whatever. It will at least create that kind of standardization within the core, instead of being some weird stuck-on theme options panel that requires learning a whole new kind of layout every time for each user.
Well, I would just like to suggest that why have like 600 options for picking colors for different things, instead of just make 5 colors as part of your color scheme, and then you do what WordPress.com does with like five little dots, and you can change your entire color scheme in a matter of like 4 clicks.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense design-wise.
Save people from themselves?
Yes.
you just won the internet, Syed. You just did right there.
Syed wins the internet like every day. Like, it's not exciting anymore.
And I've been waiting for that functionality to come out so we don't have to like create separate style sheets for different color schemes that we want to offer. It'd be really nifty when that feature gets added to the customizer.
So how come you don't work on core, Syed?
How come I don't work on core stuff? Did you ask me how many hours in the day there is?
Well, I know you apparently are able to like expand
40 or
and craft
something.
them at will. So what the hell? Just add in some more.
I'm pretty
at 4 in the morning.
Look, I'm pretty sure that when he gets bored of making millions and he gets to be 30, he'll take some time and start contributing. So just give him a little bit, right? We all had our teenage years.
When we're, especially as, if we're making millions on WordPress, whatever, which are we all really? But that it's important to do that, and you obviously have so much to contribute, put it in the core, man.
That's a good point.
Stick it in the core.
So I'm just curious, what are you guys excited about that's coming out in 4.0?
Oh my God, I heard about this grid view thing.
I heard they're going to do pages.
One thing that no one has said yet, SSL improvements. There are a lot of really good SSL improvements coming in 4.0. If you happen to run your site either optionally over SSL or all over SSL, it's been tightened up, and there's a lot of bugs that got squashed, so really big gain for anyone that cares about security.
That'll be awesome for anyone running an e-commerce site.
Or anybody who just wants to have a secure site to begin with. I mean, that's what we're doing more and more of. Why not?
Well, those church sites, they're dangerous.
HTTPS everywhere.
Yep.
You want the government up in your church.
And with that note.
Oh, so yeah.
Well, that about wraps it up for today. Because of that. But thank you all for being on the show today talking about WordPress 4.0. Make sure you go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com and you can click on the subscribe button.
Rock on, Helen. Yay. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.
You guys have a good rest of your day. See you later.
What the hell is a